his hand, so we're back on the air. Notice I said he waved his hand to us this time. Now, young man, Caleb, tell us about how many people it takes to operate the staff when you're in operation. You must take 2 or 3 people out there all the time.
Our staff is comprised of our family this year and a couple of friends who volunteer.
Well, the overheads go that way, isn't it?
Pardon?
The overheads go that way if you have your family.
Yes, sir. It works very well having our family operate it. There's 5 of us right now who operate as our family, and then 1 or 2 friends typically come out and help. So it probably takes about 6 people to operate between hay rides, watching people at the petting zoo, the water balloon slingshot. We have face painting also. We have the concession stand where people can buy food, drinks, things of that nature. So, it's just a full family effort. So that's pretty much what it is at this point.
The snack shop's a good idea. Even the baby in our family, who's not 2, when she sees any little place, she says, Max, Max. So we're certainly oriented towards snacks, aren't we?
Yes, ma'am. We, it's this last couple of weeks have been long and hot out there, so we have Gatorade, we have water, we have soda, all in bottles, so people can bring it through the maze with them. So, halfway through, they're thinking, man, it's getting warm out here. They can have a drink with them. So, we're not ripping people off. We try to keep our prices pretty close, to what it really should be. And, we're not like the ball game where we're just going to charge an arm and a leg for anything.
$12 for a hot dog or whatever it is.
Well, Judith, this is kind of a little bit of the way you and I always talk about this Americana. This is kind of a little slice of Americana. Family working together, a little enterprise. Obviously, it's not all altruistic on their part. This is they put some money in here and a lot of effort, so they hope to make it an economic success, and we hope it is too. But it's a neat thing to have here in the county, and something again falling under Jeff's window here. We can promote that and bring people in here.
Absolutely. Agricultural tourism is a big deal, and now we have, in addition to Gale's Pumpkin Patch, the Lincoln Corn Maze, we have 3 actually with Hawes Elevator, 3 very signature stops that anchor what we can do for agricultural tourism. So I'm excited about that. Caleb will tell you we were thrilled the moment he stepped in the door and told us about this, and the theme with the balloon, relating to the Balloon Fest, and then of course the famous picture of Abe christening the city of Lincoln, just really kind of makes it more unique to us than any other kind of design they could have put out there. So
I was reading in your brochure, your guidebook here, about the attractions and museums, the Vin Fizz Landing. How do you even... Now, I dare say I've lived here for 45 years, which is a long time, especially to you, Caleb. And I dare say I've not heard of the Vin Fizz Landing. How do you glean all this from all the people so that you know something like that?
Well,
where does it come from?
Well, that's a pretty obscure marker. It's not really a complete museum, but it is a marker in Middletown. And the story about that is there was a pilot early on that was doing a transcontinental flight, and it was funded by Vin Fizz Soda. It was like a company prior to Coca-Cola, or right around the time that Coca-Cola started. Well, a pilot had a couple unexpected stops due to engine trouble. One of them was over in a town in Pike County called Nebo that you might be familiar with, and another one was in Middletown. And so they stopped in both those locations and got help from the local people, and then they were able to go on their way. That was a very famous, this Vin flight that was sponsored by Vin Fizz was a very famous flight at the time. It's long been overshadowed in history now by other famous flights like Amelia Earhart and the Wright brothers and
Yeah.
things of that nature.
But this was in the pioneer days of aviation.
Yeah. We're talking a long, long time ago.
How, that's not like driving a car. You can't just pull over to the shoulder and park. How in the world did they get an airplane on the ground in Middletown?
Of course, back
Very
then
carefully.
we're talking, probably just farm fields
Sure.
at that point.
Oh,
So,
yeah. They landed in these open fields. That was a very, very common thing.
Right.
Stubble fields, anything that was open, hay field that hasn't grown up very much yet. That was very, very common in those days. And those planes landed at a very slow speed.
And so it's part of what's nice is it's part of Middletown's history, the oldest community in the county, and
It's
there's a
called
nice
Middletown because...
Well, because it was, at least in theory, the middle of what the state of Illinois looked like at the time.
And wasn't that a stagecoach stop?
It absolutely was.
That's what I was thinking, yeah.
The stagecoach in there has been
Yes.
restored. It was a key project of the late Terry Steinhauer, who we all dearly miss. He was a great person for tourism in Logan and Menard County. And his wife Phyllis, I think, is going to be helping keep that project going. So yeah, very, very famous community. It was along the Lincoln's route when he was traveling the circuit practicing law, and he stayed there occasionally at the stagecoach stop. There was another stagecoach stop right outside of New Holland in which he stayed as well. So
we're surrounded here in Lincoln by a number of great communities. For instance, Mount Pulaski helping out Donna Gass with her whistle stop library business now. A foundation out of Mount Pulaski doing that. That's the type of thing that we... And by the way, Mount Pulaski is working, as we speak, they're working very hard to have a big hoop-de-doo next July in 2011. They have a committee working hard on that. And that's kind of, Caleb, that's kind of how things get done in these small communities. A whole bunch of people working together with a common interest. So I'll leave that for you as a kind of a little guideline. But I don't think I need to speak to this choir here in that regard. Looky here, what this young man and his family have done by getting together and pulling together and coming up with this idea. And so congratulations to you, young man.
Well, thank you, and I appreciate your all the time here. And I just want to say thank you to all our friends. We've had, I don't know how many people helping us, assisting us in getting things printed. Just friends coming out, helping us build the concession stand, cutting the corn, just in general getting things ready. And I just want to put a great big thank you out there to everybody who's helped with that. It's not just our family who's done it. We just couldn't have done it without all of our friends. So I just want to say thank you to everybody who's helped.
Well, Judith K., looking here at the clock has done the same thing again as it does every Wednesday about this time. We always try to come up with a little closure, gentlemen. And this is particularly apropos to this young man here, Caleb, that Herbert Hoover said eons ago. One of our presidents, Caleb. just an aside. Old Herbert said, "Blessed are the children, for they shall inherit the national debt." Thank you for Viewpoint.